Hi, Flosstube. This is Tina Fraser coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. It is Saturday, April 14th at approximately 8:45 p.m. Eastern. I decided to do this video live for you guys today. I just don't want to worry about trying to upload a video. And it has been like about 2 weeks since I've uploaded one. I know I said on my last video that I would try and do one at my in-laws' house last weekend, hopefully doing a stitch with me, sitting on their front porch. But the weather was just too cold to do that, to spend any length of time on their porch. And my mother-in-law too, her health is, kind of deteriorating a little faster than we all kind of thought. And we had some issues last weekend that we had to deal with. So I didn't get a video loaded. I didn't do anything. I did stitch quite a bit. So I'll show you some of my WIP updates from stitching last weekend at my in-laws' house here in a bit. But yeah, I just didn't really get a chance to upload a new video. I'm going to be referencing some of my notes. I took some notes here. So if you see me looking down or looking away from the camera, I'm probably looking at my notes. So first off the bat, I wanted to say happy tax weekend to all of the stitchers in the U.S. that are out there in Flosstube. For those of you that don't know, this weekend is a big tax reporting weekend for income taxes in the United States. The tax day here in the US is typically April 15th, which is tomorrow. But because it's Sunday, the government has extended tax filing till Tuesday at midnight. So everybody has from now until midnight Tuesday to actually get their taxes either submitted online or postmarked by Tuesday at midnight. So this is for the income tax in that you paid for 2017. So I got my taxes done this week. I'm all set. I get to have fun the rest of the weekend and not worry about my taxes. So for those of you that have your taxes done, congratulations. For those of you that haven't done your taxes yet, you only have until Tuesday to get your taxes done. So get your taxes done. All right. So anyway, a little bit of housekeeping. I want to thank you to a few of the new. I want to thank you. I want to thank. Sorry about that. The new subscribers that have found me on YouTube and have subscribed to my Flosstube channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you find something here that you can use. I hope you enjoy some of the projects that I have going. And I hope that you find something of value that you can use in your own projects and you find inspiration that you might be looking for. Everybody has their own tastes and what they like and what they don't like and everything like that. But anyway, I'd like to welcome you if this is your first video of mine that you watched. I hope you go back and read or watch some of my older videos if you're so interested. There's been some interesting things that I've discussed and talked about and shared, and I hope you can find something that will inspire you to create and to get more enjoyment out of our hobby that we share. So, as I mentioned before, and a little bit of housekeeping here now. Last weekend at the in-laws didn't quite go as expected or as hoped. I did get a lot of stitching time in, but there was some issues that we had, especially on Saturday. Kind of all of our plans got thrown out the window. So anyway, that and Wednesday I was at work and I took a little break, walked away from my desk, and I was checking my Facebook posts. And I have family that live in Evanston, Wyoming. I don't know if it's about an hour and a half east of Salt Lake City in the southwest corner of the state of Wyoming. My grandfather's, well, he's technically my step grandfather. He married my grandma when I was 2, but they were high school sweethearts long before that. He passed away in 2007, And his brother Ranald, his real first name is William. His brother Ranald and his wife Joyce lived in Evanston, Wyoming, and they ran the Phillips RV Park. I don't know if any of you had ever been out that way or driven through Evanston, Wyoming, but they own and operate the family RV park, Phillips RV Park in Evanston, Wyoming. Well, since my grandfather died, I've been in constant contact with Ran and his wife, Joyce, because they're my great uncle and great aunt. And so I've gotten letters back and forth. Dylan and I have been talking about the possibility of taking a road trip where we fly into Denver. We spend a few days in Cheyenne visiting some of the areas that I used to visit when I went to see my grandparents when they were still alive, and travel across the state. You go to stop in Laramie, Wyoming, where the University of Wyoming is at. I went to school there for 3 years, and then travel all the way across the rest of the state to Evanston to visit with Ran and his wife, see the family property, the RV park, and also visit my grandparents' grave sites. I had this grand goal of doing that. Well, sadly, the last letter I got from Joyce a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, she had indicated that Ran was going in for heart surgery because he's older. He's quite a bit older, and anyway, so Wednesday I was at work and I was looking at Facebook and I noticed there was a new message from Phillips RV Park because I follow them on Facebook, that I clicked on. I tapped on the screen and brought it up, only to find out that my great uncle Ranald passed away Monday due to complications from his cardiac surgery. Y'all, 2018 has been such a crappy kind of year. I just don't even know. It's just really crappy. Anyway, so his services are going to be in Evanston on 1st. And try as I did, I could not find the perfect flights to fly from Columbus here to Salt Lake City there to attend his funeral. As much as I really want to, I'm kind of heartbroken, you guys. I liked Ran. Ran was really great. We would stop by and visit. My grandpa and I would stop by when I was in college. And if I was driving home to California, where my parents are, if I was driving home from Wyoming to California for the summer or for spring break or Christmas break or whatever, my grandfather and I would always stop in Evanston because it was about an 8-hour drive away from where we were. So it made the first, the good first leg of the trip. And we had a free place to stay, and we could visit with Ran and Joyce. So we got to visit with them a lot when I was in high school and college, just traveling back and forth with my grandfather. And they're real sweet people. And I'm really kind of sad that my husband isn't going to get to meet him. It's yeah, it kind of makes me tear up a little bit because he was a sweetheart of a man, very soft spoken, but boy, was he pretty impactful in the lives of the people that he blessed with his presence. You guys, I'm gonna really miss him. So the plan is, instead of me trying to make a flight out kind of last minute to go to his funeral services, my husband is going to be sending me out there hopefully for about a week this coming summer, so I can go visit with my great uncle or my great aunt Joyce and just kind of hang out and visit. At which point I'll be able to see everybody's grave sites and everything like that. It's just this year, I tell you, between everything happening with family and work, the work situation, it's just been kind of a rough year. And with everything else looming worldwide, yeah, I don't know how much better it's going to get. So anyway, all right. Well, I digress. So I'm going to start talking now about some stuff. All right. So I have some new stash haul. Um, while we were in West Virginia last weekend, in Marietta, Ohio, there's this little flea market that's open on the weekends called Rinky Dinks. It's known as Rinky Dinks to all the locals, but it's in this old Rinks uh, general store. It used to be like a general store in the area, and now it's just a big flea market, where people have stalls and they sell their wares and crafts, and you can find pretty good stuff, pretty old stuff, pretty junky stuff, cheap, sometimes not so cheap, homemade furniture, crafty things and stuff like that. And so there's many booths where, they hit estate sales and they bring all the stuff from the estate sales they find, to sell at their booths at Rinky Dinks. Well, we stop in to Rinky Dinks probably once or twice a month if we're in West Virginia or if we're visiting the in-laws. At least once a month we'll stop in there and visit and see what kind of things we can find. And this trip, I happened to be by this one booth that I normally like. The lady goes to estate sales. She's one of the ones in there that do estate sales during the week, and then she brings all her stuff in to sell. But she usually sometimes she has crafty things, sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she has Fenton glassware. That's one of the things I'm all into is Fenton glass. I don't know if you can do a Google search for it and find it, but Fenton glass used to be it's known at least in this area pretty widely, and it's now collectible because the factory is no longer producing. The factory shut down. I want to say it's been like 10 years ago or more. But the factory used to be located in Williamstown, West Virginia, which is like 5 minutes from my in-laws' house on a short little drive. And so I used to go into the Fenton glass gift shop and, look at stuff and buy stuff. And you used to be able to go in there for the holidays and paint ornaments that they would fire up. So you get these little glass discs and you could paint using some of their special glass paint, and they would fire it up, and then you go pick them up and take them home and stick them on your tree. So if I think about it, when we decorate for Christmas, if I'm still doing Flosstube, which I plan on it, I will pull out a couple of my Fenton glass ornaments to show. But yeah, so this vendor at the flea market, I went in there to just kind of look and see what she had, and I noticed she had a couple of boxes full of pattern books and magazines. She had a lot of quilting pattern books. I'm not a quilter, so I just kind of thumbed through those. Then I happened to notice this box kind of tucked away and buried under some stuff that had the first thing in it was a cross stitch and country crafts magazine, like one of the old ones. So I pulled the box out and I rummaged through the box, and I spent quite a bit of money and came home with $13 worth of 50-cent magazines and leaflets. So I will show you some of what I got. Yep. So she said that she got these at an estate sale. So, anyway, let me get 2 more of them because I have a lot, you guys. There's a lot here. So yeah, I'm just going to show you the group and then I'll go through them. But so this was the stack, most of the stack of books and magazines and leaflets. You can see there's a lot here. I got all this for like $13. Oh, and a piece of 22 count Hardanger fabric. 22 count Hardanger fabric. There's a little piece cut out of this, but I could probably use this for something, you guys. I got this for a quarter, 25 cents for a quarter. But yeah, I have all these. So some of the magazines that were included in here. I got the premiere issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. It's a premiere issue. I have 2 copies of this actually because this came from an estate. So I'm guessing that a daughter or a sister or somebody in the estate had gotten a subscription or picked up the magazine as well. So I have copies, like duplicates of some of these. But yeah, this is the premiere issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. This I don't know when this came out exactly, but these are quite old. This is the March-April 86 issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. This is the March-April 86. Oh, it's the same thing. I got a duplicate copy of it again. Then I got the May-June 86 Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. May-June 86. And she had, whoever had this before had photocopied some of the patterns. Like she had taken the pattern and made it bigger for her so she could read it. So some of her working copies are, some of the previous owners' working copies are still in these books or in these magazines. This is Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, November, December 86. These plates were a big thing way back then. And again, this one has another working copy in it that she made. I'm probably going to hold on to the working copies. I just don't know. This one is the July-August 87 Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. July-August 87. I'd flagged a piece in here to do. Let's see, what is this? Oh, yeah. I'll be talking about this one here in a little bit, so I'm putting this off to the side. But, yeah. Then I got the March-April 87. Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. May-June 87. And then I picked up a couple of books, a couple of leaflets, and 3 keepsake calendars that I got to show you. The first leaflet I got is a Teresa Wentzler Dreamscapes carousel horse. This is Dancer. And there's 4 in the series. You can see here there's 4 in the series. I don't know if I'm going to be getting any of these. I got this for 50 cents. I figured for 50 cents I could find it a home, or I could make it my home. I could make it a home here in my house. I don't know. I like Teresa Wentzler, and I like the carousel horses. They're not exactly my decor, but for 50 cents, I figured I'd give it a good home. This one was kind of interesting, and I hadn't seen this. This is P. Buckley Moss, the Newborn. P. Buckley Moss, the Newborn. Usually the P. Buckley Moss patterns are like these tall, thin, kind of not really Amish, but like Quaker kind of, or just plain, like the plain people kind of look to them. But this one kind of surprised me because it's not that way. So I ended up with this one too. I don't know if I'll stitch it, but I haven't. It's kind of neat. I think this is the only P. Buckley Moss pattern that I own now. Then I found this booklet. It's Christmas Sparkle Satin Stitch Ornaments on Perforated Paper. This is an old thing. I got this for $1. These are kind of nice. There's no color pictures of it except for maybe what's on the front, because back then these weren't printed in color. I'm assuming to keep the printing costs down. This is copyright 1991. Christmas Sparkle. Again, these are, let me stick it over here. These are all on perforated paper. And you can see they're all set like satin stitch ornaments. I may actually do some of these. I'm not sure. So there's that. And then, so I got 3 cross-stitch calendars. The first one I got is 1992, A Stitch in Time by Leisure Arts. This is the 1992 cross-stitch calendar, A Stitch in Time by Leisure Arts. The lady was kind of floored that I would pick the calendar, but then she realized it had cross-stitch patterns in it. This one has a lot of cats. This is all cats, you guys. You can tell by the cover, there's a lot of cats. It's all cats. This is really cute. Now, there's a lot of pieces in here I probably wouldn't stitch. Like, there's this one. It's a stand-up doll. She's cute. I probably wouldn't stitch it. The one that I probably will stitch, though, is the Halloween one. I thought this was really cute. I thought this one was really cute. Little black cat in the pumpkin. And it says a Merry Halloween. I'm going to have to find something, though, because the way they did the Merry on there is kind of weird. So I'd probably move it down. I'd probably move the letters down on this and stitch it all in the same style of lettering as the rest of the words. But Mary is just kind of weird. But yeah, this black cat sitting in a jack-o'-lantern was really cute. I like that. So I figured for 50 cents, what the heck? Oh, that one's cute too. Here's a cat smoking a pipe. Of all things, a cat smoking a pipe. That's just really cute. Really cute and funny. All right. So, yeah. There's some cute patterns in here. I don't know that I necessarily stitch it, except for maybe that black cat. Here's December. These are a bunch of wreath patterns with cats in them. There's this. Cats peering into a goldfish bowl. That's kind of cute. Yeah, so I don't know. This one was just kind of cute. Lots of cat patterns. So I got that. Then the next one I got is the Cross Stitch and Needlework Keepsake Calendar from 2001. Keepsake calendar from 2001. The lady at the booth, she's like, "You do realize these are calendars?" And I said, "Yes, but I'm getting them for the stitching projects, not necessarily for the fact that they're calendars." This is cute. This is a church in winter from November. I thought that's kind of cute. Haven't necessarily gone through these things fully, just a really brief. Here's a really cute one for spring that I might end up stitching. I don't know if you can see that real well. Yeah, I don't know. There's some cute ones in these, but a little fly fishing thing. Sunflowers. I like the cornucopia in the middle of this piece. Sorry about the glare. This is September. I like the cornucopia in the middle. Yeah, other than that, December's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's necessarily my thing, but that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll end up stitching that. I don't know. It's kind of different. And then I got, so this is the cross stitch and needlework. I kind of put them in the wrong order. This is the keepsake calendar from 2000. I got this for 50 cents too. So this one has quite a few. This is steam engine. What's December? The Santa that I don't really like. This one is kind of cool for Halloween. No, you're getting a glare. There we go. For Halloween. That's kind of interesting. Not really big into florals. This one has florals in it. She's kind of cute, but there's too many florals in this for me. She's cute. More florals, more florals, more florals. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That was all the haul from Rinkadinks that I got. That big stack of stuff and the fabric. So, oh, actually, no, that isn't it. I got a couple more Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazines, but I have them picked up. This is another leaflet that I got. It's Almalyn Designs. This was from the same bin. I think she only charged me 50 cents, even though it's marked $1. But the main reason why I got this one is for here, the I Love Cross Stitch pattern. Yeah, so I'll be talking about that a little bit more here too. So all right. So one of the other things I got, you guys know I've last weekend, I will show you this in my WIP section, but last weekend when I was at my in-laws, I was working on the Lori Birmingham Santa, and I got all the stitching done. So now all I have is the beading and adding the charms and finishing the project, actually sewing it into the bell pull shape that it needs to be and hanging it up. Well, because I lost the chart a long time ago, I also lost the pack of beads and stuff. So I went into my stash, I pulled out the gold beads for it. Haven't decided exactly what I'm going to use, if I'm going to use the like 00557 beads or the antique gold beads or what I'm going to use just yet. I also found I used to do, well, I still kind of have all my beads, but I used to do like bead weaving. So I have all these packs of check seed beads and delicacy beads, but I found gold delicas. I may actually end up using those because they're delicas and you know, they lay a little better. But I also found the bugle beads that I'm going to use for them. Instead of using silver bugle beads like what it came with, I think I'm just going to use gold bugle beads on the tree, and I'll show you that in my WIPs. But today at my local cross stitch store, I went in and I got a couple of gold charms and 3 gold jingle bells for it and the star for the top of the tree. So I can now actually make that an FFO soon. So I have the charms for it. Also, many of you know, one of the other things I got at the rinks was Just Cross Stitch magazine. This one was from 1985. This was before I was even stitching, you guys. And there's a real interesting piece in here. This came from Rinky Dings too, by Sundance Designs, and the pattern is called First Bell for California. And when I was going through this just a little bit ago, I thought this was really interesting. This is kind of a Native American style design. Mexican Native American. And this is probably one that I'll end up stitching later on. But I just thought this was cute. This is Sundance Designs. This came out of the Cross Stitch, Just Cross Stitch, May, June 1985 magazine. So that was an interesting little tidbit. All right. One of the other magazines I picked up, I think I picked up at, no, this might have been one of mine, but well, I'll talk about this here in a little bit. All right, so what I was going to say, the Fireside Originals Seahorse of the Month Club, March and April are now out. So I picked those up when I was at my local cross stitch store today. Cross My Heart here in Columbus. Here's March. March is called Lucky, and he's rainbow. He's really cute. Really, really cute. So there's March. Lucky. April's really cute too. A seahorse with butterfly wings. This one is Mariposa. So if you'd like more information, if you're having trouble locating these and you'd like information on how to get them, if you can't find them locally, let me know. Put it in your comments down below, and I can get you the contact information for my local cross stitch store, Cross My Heart. The designer is one of the owners of our cross stitch store, and I can put you in touch with the store, and they can get you these patterns. So far, it's only the 4 out. If you look at the back, there's going to be 12. And yes, I have seen the finished piece. The finished piece is actually on display at Cross My Heart. So I have seen all 12. That's one benefit about being here and having the designer in the shop is you get to see some of these kind of before they've all been released. But anyway, so that's kind of what it's going to look like. And it's really stunning. They can also get you the fabric that was used for this. I can't remember the name of the fabric off the top of my head, but each of these seahorse patterns are retail for about $10. So This is Fireside Originals. This is the Seahorse of the Month Club. March and April are out. So I have those to do. All right. So while I was at my cross stitch store, I showed you the Almalin thing with the I love cross stitch pattern. While I was at my local cross stitch store today, my LNS, I also picked up fabric for this other thing. This came out of the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine, the May-June 88 issue. I'm going to be doing this one. Is that the right way? Yes. I'm going to be doing this one here. A, B, C, D, E, F to Z. Cross stitchers make every minute count. So they have this finished on a bag. I'm just probably going to frame it. There's another one, a companion piece here. But I'm going to do the every stitcher. Cross stitchers make every minute count. The fabric that I picked up for it, I also picked up to do the I Love Cross Stitch by Elma Lynn on the same fabric, because I was like, well, she already cut it and basically cut it in half. For this one, I'll just take the other half and do it the I Love Cross Stitch. But I got the fabrics by R&R Productions. I got 36 count. This is R&R Productions Vintage Homespun. Vintage Homespun. And this is, it's kind of a brown, tan, kind of coffee kind of color. So this is going to be for both the I Love Cross Stitch and the I don't know if turning this on will make it better. I don't know. Might wash it out a little bit. But yeah, it's 36 count. So looking forward to getting those started. I saw those in the magazine. I've been thumbing through the magazines that I have in stock all week and flagging patterns that I'd like to stitch. So anyway, that's about all the stash that I have from my local needlework shop. But here's the second piece of that same fabric for the other pattern. So I have the stuff for them now. They may be new starts. Some of you are involved in the Stitch Mania Facebook group. And for the Stitch Mania Facebook group, it's MAYNIA. Coming up in May is their annual big Stitch Mania thing, which is why the Facebook group was started to begin with. They do this thing every year where they start. You can either do the first 15 days of the month, first 18 days of the month, first 5 days of the month, whatever. You pick something and you just keep at it for those amounts. Most people start 18 new projects for that first 18 days. Like they'll start a new project every day for the first 18 days. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I do think I'm going to start a couple of new projects. So I'm kind of partly participating in Stitch Mania for the month of May, but I don't know if I'm really going to do that. So part of it is I'm probably going to start the seahorses because I have the first 4 now and the fabric. So I can probably start the seahorses at some point in May. I'm going to do the cross stitchers make every minute count. And probably I love cross stitch because those are quick. And I can probably knock those out in a month. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot. So like I said, I was going through some of my things, picking out patterns to do. And this one is the one that, so there's this term that is floating around Facebook called WIPacolypse, W-I-P apocalypse, or WIPacolypse, which is basically those patterns or designs that you'd like to finish stitching before the end of the world. And most of my stash is like that. Most of my whips in progress are like that. I have several Mirabilia started. I have several Heaven and Earth designs started. I have quite a few started, but there's some brand new ones that I haven't started yet that I had just recently added to my thing. So I will show you this one first. This one's out of Just Cross Stitch magazine, the February 2014 issue. Just Cross Stitch, February 2014. This pattern is called Beauvais, Beauvais, Beauvais. I'll show you the picture. And this is it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's in 2 colors of blue, floss. I'm probably going to change the colors and maybe do variegated, but it also kind of depends because there's a lot of this light blue here in the pattern. The only thing that's not stitched is the white parts. Everything else is stitched on this. But this pattern is called Beauvais. Kathy Bungard. It's by Kathy Bungard, Bungard. So this is one of the things on my WIPacolypse list. Beauvais. Now on Stitch Mania, one of the ladies had posted that I'm going to turn this other light off. One of the other ladies had posted that she saved a piece from the free bins somewhere that she was visiting. And it was a stitched piece of an Amish scene that she just decided to bring home. And so she posted a picture of it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I just flagged that picture as one of my things I want to do. I was really shocked. So lots of people posted, I have that pattern. I started that pattern. I put that pattern away. I have a friend that finished that, blah, 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 blah. Well, it turns out that that piece that she captured is the middle piece of a 3-part series that was published in Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. And so this piece is on my WIPacolypse, and I'll show it to you here. Here's the 3 sections. Here's the 3 sections of it. Now my goal, sorry about the glare. Here's the 3 sections. Each end, this section and this section were published, and then the middle section is published in the 3rd piece. But this is all 3 pieces, and the piece that she captured, that she rescued, is this middle piece here. She rescued it out of a free bin. Somebody had already stitched it. So this is going on my WIPacolypse thing, but I'm going to be doing all 3 of these together on the same piece, all smushed together. So there will be no break. There will be no separation. I'm just going to do it as one big piece. So that's what I'm going to do. This is called Amid Amish Life. Amid Amish Life, collector series. Amid Amish Life. And this was published in the March and April, May and June, and July and August 1987 issues of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. So this that Amid Amish Life is going to go on my WIPacolypse list of things that I want to stitch before the end of the world. I like Diane Grabner. This one is a little more busy than a lot of Diane Grabner's, but I am probably gonna do this anyway. I thought this was just really beautiful. I was taken away, and I was so happy to find out that in that pile of magazines that I got at the flea market last weekend, I had all 3 of the magazines in that pile, which made me really happy. So, and that's kind of why I decided that I wanted to stitch that, was because I had all 3 patterns and I didn't have to go dig with it. So that is on my WIPacolypse thing. And so, all right, I mentioned before in a couple of my other videos, sorry about moving the camera, and then sorry about the glare on the picture, but if you can see this picture here, these chickadees in the Christmas wreath. I'm sorry about the glare. I can't do anything about that. It's the overhead light and the way where I'm sitting. And I don't want to move the camera too much because I'm filming this on my laptop. But when I was looking through all my magazines this last week, just to see what kind of things I had, I found the pattern. I stitched this piece for my mother-in-law when she was still alive as a Christmas gift because she really loved chickadees. And I saw this in a magazine and absolutely fell in love with it and asked her what she thought. I left it kind of sitting out, and I left it sitting out on her coffee table, and she saw it and she's like, I really like that. And I was like, well, now I know what to make for Christmas. So this pattern for this chickadee pattern here came out of For the Love of Cross Stitch, January 1996. Here it is. For the Love of Cross Stitch, January 1996. And the design is in here. It is from Carolyn Shores Wright. Here's the designer there. You can see she has the piece stitched up on her desk. Carolyn Shores Wright. Here's a more up close picture of it so you can see. Now I used all the called for floss in this. And I stitch it on, I think, cream or antique white. This called for a 10-inch square of antique white Aida. I did it on, I actually think I did do it on Aida. I don't know if I did it on 14 count. It looks kind of like 14 count. But yeah, so that picture right here came out of For the Love of Cross Stitch, January 1996. And it's a piece by Carolyn Shores Wright. And it's this piece down here. I don't know if anybody had wanted that information, but now you have it. All right, so I'm about 42 minutes in. I'm hoping to finish this up soon, so I can get to some stitching tonight. But I wanted to show you an update. I had said that, no, come on, there it is, right in front of me. But it was snake. So I had said that I was working. Go back to moving the camera. Sorry about that, you guys. I had said that last weekend I worked on my Lori Birmingham Santa, the Joy to the World Santa, and I have all the stitching done now, including the back stitching. I don't know if you'll be able to see this very well. Turn this back on. There you go. Joy to the World. The stitching and back stitching is done. I just now need to add the beads and the charms. I got the little charms here. So the stitching is all done. And the back stitching too. You can see the back stitching, especially in the face. Turned out pretty good. So hopefully I can get instruction on how to sew it into the bell pull. But there we have it. It is close to being done. And I'm going to have to find out what the heck I did with the beads that I pulled out, because I don't know where they are. But anyway, that's that. So I joined a new Facebook group this week called Bewitched Stitches. And it's kind of a Facebook group for people that like, dark stuff, like, Halloween and, horror movies and, paranormal and all kinds of stuff like that. And it's kind of right up my alley, because, well, I'm kind of like into all that stuff too. So I joined that group this week, and they have these stitch alongs for the group that some of you may be familiar with. One of the stitch alongs is Dark 13 Stitching, where on the 13th of every month you pull out something dark. Well, it could be Halloween, it could be any kind of thing, and you work on it. So yesterday happened to be Friday the 13th. So I posted a picture of my piece that I wanted to work on yesterday. And this also kind of went for the Friday Off the Grid group too. So I pulled out an old WIP of mine. This is by the Cricut collection. It's number 260. This is called Skeleton Crew. Now, I'd started this for my niece, like many years ago. I don't even think I put on here when I started it. I'm changing the floss colors out. I've changed the fabric out. I'm adding glow in the dark. I'm adding glow in the dark to make the skeletons glow in the dark. I originally started stitching on this flag here on the boat or the sail in just like white, and I think I'm going to change it out and make all the things glow in the dark to match the skeleton too. But there's quite a few different changes that I'm making to this along the way. But I wanted to show you because this is a WIP that came out, a WIP that I have. So this is kind of what I have so far. This is the bow of the boat. This guy has orange eyes. You might not be able to see it, but this guy has orange eyes. So, orange eyes. Sorry about that. So that's kind of where I did a little bit more of the brown. I finished up his head, added the orange eyes. But this is the sail here. This is the sail here that I'm going to take out and stitch in the glow-in-the-dark stuff. I don't know how I can show you the glow-in-the-dark threads threads for the skeletons, but the glow-in-the-dark is really cute. So this is where I got, so I finished him up and I did a little bit more of the browns in here. I didn't do a whole lot last night because it was really late when we got home. But so this is the Cricut Collection Skeleton Crew. I've changed the fabric color on this to kind of I didn't even write down the fabric color, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure. It's kind of like a sea green kind of color. And I believe it's 32 count linen. But I can't tell you what kind of fabric it is. I bought the fabric and stuff a long time ago, and probably at least 5 years ago. And back then I wasn't really keeping good track of, the fabric and everything. But yeah, I'm making some changes. Like all the skeletons are going to be in glow in the dark thread. I'm going to change all the sails to glow in the dark thread. I'm using I'm using a variegated thing for the letters, 16 men on a dead man's ship. I'm using like a silk, Karen Water Lily silk or some sort of silk thread. At a later time when I'm more prepared, I will actually tell you what I'm switching out and show you when I show you the progress next time on this. But yeah, I picked this out for Dark 13 Stitches. So if you're on Facebook, look up Bewitched Stitches or Stitchers. Bewitched Stitches. And join the group. It's a lot of fun. We talk about stuff. It's great. So, yeah, Dark 13 Stitches. One of the other stitch-alongs that they have is in the month of October, they do what's called Darktober stitching. Obviously, for the month of October, you stitch things. So it's gonna be Halloween. It's gonna be spooky. It's gonna be Edgar Allan Poe. Some of you may be following the Edgar Allan Poe EAP Macabre stitch along. That comes out of Bewitched Stitches. And there's all kinds of other stuff. So that being said, I'm gonna put this aside for now. Tap that up a little bit later. There are a couple other things that I am doing. A couple other stitch alongs. There's obviously Mill Hill Monday. I haven't been participating in that because my Mondays have been really crazy. Obviously last Monday we were coming home from West Virginia, so I didn't get to do a whole lot. Mill Hill Monday is where you work on a Mill Hill kit or a Mill Hill pattern of some type. Haven't been participating in that. Every Friday is Friday Off the Grid. There is a YouTube video by Carolyn from Off the Grid Needle Arts, something like that. She posts a stitch along video, and there's a lot of people that make it a point to stitch on Friday, and post their progress to the off the grid Friday off the grid Facebook thing. So there's that. There's some sort of tax day stitch along, I think, going along tomorrow for April 15th. I'm not sure if that's going on or not, and I'm not sure if I'll participate. If I stitch, yeah, then, you know, I'll consider that participation in it. But I'm not going to stitch on anything in particular. Probably the skeleton crew pattern. I might pull out something else and work on that too. I don't know. But there's a new one that I came across looking at a blog. ze.blogspot.com, and I can't even remember the name of the blog, the actual name of the blog, but it's JOYSZE. That's labeled IHSW. IHSW stands for the International Hermit and Stitch Weekend. So basically, it's a weekend, the third weekend of the third full weekend of every month. You hermit yourself inside your house and do nothing but stitch all weekend. It's like your excuse for having a stitchy weekend. That's all yours and you alone. Now, there's some people that take that very seriously and they go off by themselves somewhere so they can't be bothered. Or they'll turn off their TV, they'll turn off their phone, they'll turn off their computer, they'll turn off everything and just tell their family, you can't contact me. But it's called the International Hermit and Stitch Weekend. And I want to say it's coming up next weekend. And I don't know if I'm going to stitch. It all depends on if we go to my in-laws. I'm not going to hermit, but I'm probably going to have it be another stitch weekend. But yeah, there's the International Hermit and Stitch Weekend, IHSW. I got that off of a blog, not a Facebook page, but a blog. The blog again is JOYSZE.blogspot.com. So there's that. And also, you know, there's all the other Stitch Mania stitch alongs, like new project on the 18th of every month. Full coverage on the 5th of every month. I haven't really been participating in that because I've been busy. Last month, I started a new project on the 18th. This month, I'll probably start a new project on the 18th. I don't know what it's going to be. Everything like that. So, all right. So this is going on almost an hour. I think I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut it here. I don't have very many updates because all last weekend I pretty much worked on that Lori Birmingham Santa to try and get it done. Oh, one of the other things I wanted to show you too. While I was at my in-laws down in Parkersburg, West Virginia, there is a craft store that used to be called Crafts 2000. They have one up here in Delaware, Ohio, but it's about a half-hour, 40-minute drive away from me. But it used to be called Crafts 2000. It is now under the parent company name of Pat Catan's. And I was in there this last weekend, and I picked up some new needle minders. I'm going to turn this back on so you can actually maybe see these. These are really cute. These were in the jewelry clearance bins that I picked these up at. These smaller ones still have the little clips, little clips on them that you can, you know, attach them to charms or whatever. But I thought these were just really cute. This is a little teeny doggy, and they're very shimmery, shiny. Very shimmery, shiny. Oh. Whoops, it's not going to work doing it that way. Maybe I'll just grab it like this. Little teeny doggy. He's very cute. Then I got a little gypsy wagon. I thought this gypsy wagon was really cute. I just put some of my magnets I used E6000 glue and put some of my magnets on the back. Little gypsy wagon. This one was really cute. It's kind of springy. It's a little flower pot. But these have sparkle. These are sparkly. And they're double-sided too. They are double-sided, but the back side of mine have the magnets. And then there were a couple of bigger ones. I almost got about 5 or 6 of these, but I settled on the 2 that I like the best. These had big necklace little loops on them, so you can hang them on a necklace. But there's this one. And it's shimmery. You're not going to be able to see the sparkles very well. But there's this one. Yep, they have a little glitter inside them. And this is another springy one that I thought was really pretty. I thought these were really neat. I think each one of these were like $2.50 in the jewelry clearance area. I clipped off the little loops that were on the top of these to make them into charms, necklace charms. And then one of the other ones I got that I thought was also really cute. I take this off. Let me project for a minute. The last one I got that was really cute, that actually is on the skeleton crew, because Pirate, this little rat, this little pirate, he even has a patch eye. But this one you can actually see the glitter on it really well. Little pirate. I thought that was really cute. This one's on my skeleton crew project now. Because it, kind of goes along. Whoops. Oh, I have 2 of them on there. Couldn't figure out what was going on there. But yeah, so the pirate. The pirate is on my skeleton crew project. Because he goes so well in that. Yeah. So those are the new needle minders I got this weekend. All right. So that's about it, you guys. My needle minder collection is growing. Did you guys see this? Look at this. My board is filling up. That's pretty cool. My little hedgehog that I showed you before. Little coffee cup. It goes up here with the things. That kind of goes back up there. Yeah, some of these got knocked around, bumped around. But anyway, there you go. So my needle minder collection is growing. That's kind of cool. Nothing much else to show you guys. That's about it. Sorry this is so long, and sorry it's about an hour. But yeah, I'm going to get off here so I can stitch. It's going on 9:40. It's time for me to stitch. I had a very long day. I had a workout this morning, and my feet are tired. And I actually took a 2.5-hour nap. I don't take naps very often, so I must have really needed it. So for me to nap 2.5 hours is pretty different. So anyway, that's about it. Hopefully, I don't know how many of you are still watching. If anybody's here, that would be, I hope you got something out of this. Please leave me comments below. Leave me questions below. I'm hoping to add like a Q&A session here. And I know a couple people have expressed an interest in me doing a diamond painting, paint along. I will probably be doing that here sometime soon when I can figure out a good way to get the camera set up so you can actually see my work as I'm working and what I'm working on. I'm also hopefully going to be doing another stitch along video. So anyway, I just decided to make these videos live more recently because it's easier than trying to wait for them to upload. I know they still have to process, but at least that way you can see me coming to you live. Hopefully this works out okay. I don't know how many live videos I'm actually going to do, but I kind of like this. Anyway, just a reminder, if you're in the United States and you haven't done your taxes yet, taxes are due on Tuesday. Get your taxes filed, people. This is my little public service PSA, public service announcement for the day. So yeah, there's stitch alongs going on. I'm only really working on 2 projects right now. The Lori Birmingham one, which I'm probably not going to work on tonight, and although I might get it completely finished. That might actually be a good idea. But I'm not really working on anything. I haven't done anything with my diamond painting in several weeks, so I don't know if I'll be doing any this week or not. But there's that. There's still lots of things going on. We may end up back at the in-laws in West Virginia this weekend because we're going to try and make it an every other weekend thing, maybe. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, you guys. Have a good week. Have a good 2 weeks. I don't know when the next time I'll be videoing for you, but stay strong. Keep your head up. Get your taxes done. File your taxes. There's a big difference between just getting them done and actually getting them done and filing them. File your taxes. Do all the adult things. Stitch all the stitchy things. Buy all the stash. Bead all the beads. Just do it all, you guys, and keep on keeping on. Oh, I'm drinking coffee. I haven't had any since I started this video. It's got a weird film on the top of it right now. I'm gonna have to work that out. But it's just Folgers instant coffee because, well, I'm not really. I drink coffee, but I'm not a coffee connoisseur. And anyway, it's in my little Thomas Kincaid mug. But yeah. And it's just kind of weird. I'm going to have to get this film off of here because it's been sitting on my mug warmer for a while. But anyway, I'm just drinking Folgers instant coffee with some sugar and some Natural Bliss, I think is what it's called. The creamer, the sweetened creamer that you can get. It's kind of like Coffee Mate.